objected either. They had then and still have their very strong biases. They're just not very upfront about it, like we were. But things were changing, and the Bird was having some more difficult times. The recession that struck in the early 70s was continuing. The Bird had relied a lot on advertising from the record industry, and so our ad base was declining. Competition was increasing. We had Creative Loafing as a competition for ads for a while, but some other weekly newspapers started up that competed for our ad base. The strip and our hawker system really completely disappeared during the time I was there, like 73, 74, and 75. The war had changed, as I mentioned, and then we all had changes in our personal lives. Some of us had to go off and get jobs, or some of us were starting to get married and have babies, or have babies without getting married. And when I was on staff, we made all of our decisions, and I think this was the way from the beginning. We made all the decisions collectively. We had long, haranguing meetings, sometimes making decisions, but it was really a very educational and good process, we thought. When I was on staff, we were the staff people that did get paid $60 a week, but for a while we weren't getting paid, and I had to get a waitress job at Jagger's Pizza to help support myself. So the publication at one point in the late 75, I think, moved to a monthly, which added to its loss of revenue, and then it ceased publication altogether in 76. I wanted to mention a couple of the effects. I've already spoken about the grudging respect of elected officials. The Bird, even though we had a paid subscription of 22,000, we felt like we had a much wider reach around Atlanta and the Southeast. Many people, especially young people, would buy one copy and pass it around to their 10 friends. Also the Bird had a profound effect on not only those of us that worked on the Bird, but those who were readers of the Bird. I think it opened our eyes and our readers' eyes to a whole different world from what we had experienced here in Atlanta and in the Southeast. The Bird was also able to bring news from California, New York, about other kinds of things that we would have never heard about here in the South. And I want to mention one other quick thing, is that during the time of the Great Speckled Bird and the rise of these, the growth of these alternative or underground papers, it was kind of a Wild West world of media in a certain sense. And I think that there are some parallels. I don't want to draw too sharp a point on this issue, on this, but there are some parallels with the rise of the internet and the rise of social media and kind of the Wild West with what we're experiencing now and what's going to happen to the mainstream media now with these other types of media. So it'll be interesting to see. It was an interesting time then, it's an interesting time now. So thank you all very much.
Chance. Say a word? No? All right, you really didn't have a speaking part. We got about 5 minutes for questions, and then John, are you going to be signing your book in the room?
I think so. I'm happy to, sure.
All right, we'll be signing the book, and then our special offer is that former Bird staff members are going to be offering guided tours of the exhibit downstairs, right, after this. So y'all stick around, and you'll get a behind-the-scenes look of the exhibit. Are there any questions? Comments, concerns, as I say to my students. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns? The exhibit is open, not all the time, but sometimes.
During the festival.
During the festival, it's open Saturday and Sunday, which is not normal hours.
And then it's also open through the end of November, so you can bring all your friends and relatives.
Any other questions?
Here.
Yeah.
My name is Willie. I was come to Atlanta in summer of 1966. Sounds like the title of a movie. It was part of my life. It really was. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I would like to also ask you to talk a little bit more about the difference, for instance, in the counterculture and the hippies and the wild quingading that was going on and the organization that you all had to get out a copy every single week. And this is a subject that I've come up against many times.
Most of the staff people at the Great Speckled Bird came out of the political movement and weren't so much involved with hippies as
Right.
such. I mean, we all became involved in the counterculture to some extent, but almost all of us had had some experience in either the student movement, the civil rights movement, or the anti-war movement, and brought that to the paper. And looking back on it, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, we made all our deadlines. You know, we had certain deadlines and we made them. So.
Yes. Well, I've read the Sally.
And yeah, and the other thing is we had a few paid staff members, anywhere from 5 to 10, given our finances at a particular time. But we depended upon a pool of maybe 30 to 40 volunteers, and those people would show up weekly on time to do whatever their assigned task was. Which is, looking back on it, pretty remarkable. But I mean, we depended on that for functioning, and we didn't have people just not showing up or whatever, you know, and everybody always showed up. It's pretty amazing to think about.
And some of those staff and volunteers are here today.
And thank you for getting Steve a speaking part. Thank you. Thank you.
I also lived in Atlanta in the late 60s, and I remember driving downtown and buying a copy. Are there reprints of the Great Speckled Bird available now?
Georgia State University has just digitized it, and you can go online to the Georgia State archive.
Is it special collections?
And they're not in chronological order. I don't know why, but the other one will be from 1985, and then here's 168. You know, they're just all jumbled, but they're all there. But if you're searching for a particular topic, it'll come up.
And then the official person is saying, we're done. Stick a fork in his ear. Thank you all very much.